Did you know that thousands of babies die in the United States every year due to SIDS? Today, I'm going to explain to you what SIDS are and how often they truly occur. As a parent and as an aunt, I've had to worry about SIDS, and it's probably the scariest thing I've ever had a doctor or a pediatrician tell me about. Today, I'm going to explain to you 3 major points about SIDS, and I find it very important that I get this information out to you. The 3 major points are going to include the 3 main key risk factors associated with SIDS, the statistics that have been found about SIDS, and the theories that have been established. Even if you're not a parent yourself, but as a child, a brother, a sister, an aunt, an uncle, or even a teacher, I think it is truly important you understand how many lives SIDS are affecting each and every day in the United States. SIDS stands for Sudden Infant Death Syndrome. What it is an unexplained death that occurs in an infant between 1 month and 12 months. The 3 main risk factors that are associated with SIDS are going to include male infants, overbundling, and infants who are exposed to smoke. It has been shown that 3.15 males die per 2 infant females. When it comes to overbundling, people think that means putting my kid in too many clothes, but that's not just it. It can be using excessive bedding, using bumpers that come in crib sets nowadays, using too soft bedding, so maybe even putting just an egg crate, underneath the crib sheet to make it softer for your infant. It can also mean putting stuffed animals and pillows within the crib while your infant's sleeping. As far as smoke, it has been shown that infants who have been exposed to smoke, whether after birth or before birth, are at higher risk of developing SIDS. Although little may be known about the actual direct cause of SIDS, research has been done, and the statistics show that age, race, and the time of year all play an important part in SIDS. The studies that have been shown and done for SIDS show that it does occur between 1 month and 12 months of age, but 90% of that is by 6 months old. Other studies have been shown, though, that show that the time of occurrence is usually between 2 to 4 months of age. As I'm going to show you on this chart here in a second, race does play a huge role in SIDS. African Americans and natives are at higher risk of having SIDS than, say, white or Hispanic. As you can see on this chart that I've made, this is going to be white infants, this is going to be African Americans, this is going to be Native Americans, and this is going to be Hispanics. As you can see, natives have had the higher rates. This chart shows between 1995 and 2006. The different colors are the different years. So a Native American is at higher risk than African Americans, and then it would go to whites and then Hispanics. So it is very important that you understand that the statistics that they have found do show that race is a huge factor. SIDS has been shown to occur also in the winter months, which could include anywhere from probably November to February, depending on, the coldness. This could be associated with the risk factor I mentioned about overbundling. It is colder out, so we tend to use a lot more bedding and clothes. A British research study has also been done that has shown that there's a common staph bacteria that has been found in infants who have died from SIDS at a greater than usual level. Other studies have been shown that infants who have died from SIDS have had abnormalities in the brainstem. So that's undeveloped receptors. Those receptors, what they do is they control the breathing, the blood pressure, and even the signaling. When I'm saying signaling, I'm meaning that's your brain signals you to breathe. So that could play a huge role in SIDS today. While conducting my research, I have found that parents who have had infants who have died from SIDS are not necessarily at greater risk for if they have a second child at developing SIDS. Though research is still being done about SIDS, we're trying to figure out if genetics plays a part in SIDS and how it plays a part. Although many researchers have done studies about SIDS trying to figure out why it's occurring, how it's developed, there's still little known about the cause. Some of the risk factors that I had mentioned previously are controllable, and some are not. One of the ones that can be considered controllable would be smoking. As a parent, it is your option whether you want to smoke while you're pregnant or whether you want your infant to be exposed to smoke outside, whether it be in a public place or even out of family members. Unfortunately, there are many risk factors that are uncontrollable, such as male infants. If you'd like to know more about SIDS, you can contact your pediatricians in town, you can contact midwives or even OBGYNs. They have a lot of information regarding it. If you think about it, 2,500 babies die every year in the United States due to SIDS. That's almost 7 babies a day. There are websites that you can go to read more about SIDS, which could include www.sidscenter.org. Or even if you want to find out how you can play a role in donations or even just supporting SIDS, you can go to www.springforsids.org. The next event that's going to be held is going to be in spring 2012.